town had always been plagued by stories, whispers of ghosts from a forgotten age, of monsters lurking just beyond the safety of the campfires. But this was something different. Something new. Something born from the very thing the townsfolk thought would bring them safety. It all started when the town council decided to modernize Deadwoodfalls. The plan was to bring electricity to the remote settlement, to banish the darkness that had long held sway. Wires were strung between the ancient pines, and poles were erected, pushing back against the wilderness. The first night the power came on, the town breathed a collective sigh of relief. The amber glow of electric lights cast the shadows away, and for the first time in living memory, Deadwoodfalls felt safe. But as the nights wore on, the safety began to unravel. It was on the third night that it happened. A low hum filled the air, a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. The townsfolk dismissed it at first, attributing it to the new machinery, the generators hidden in the hills. But when the lights began to flicker, nerves started to fray. Old Man Carlson was the first to disappear. He was the town's electrician, the one responsible for maintaining the new power grid. When his home was found empty, with no sign of struggle save for a single, humming wire snaking out from beneath his floorboards, the town grew uneasy. The humming had grown louder by then, a constant, droning presence that gnawed at the edges of sanity. The next to go was Mrs. Carson, the baker. She had been known for her love of the new electric oven installed in her shop. But one morning, when her husband went to check on her, he found the kitchen cold, the oven door wide open. Inside, instead of the expected loaves of bread, there was only a mass of writhing wires, coiled together like some monstrous nest. And always, that hum. As the disappearances continued, a pattern emerged. Those who vanished were always near something electrical when they were taken. A light bulb, a radio, a simple wire, these were the things that marked the victims. And as more people disappeared, those who remained began to fear the very technology that had once been their salvation. The final straw came when the town's power grid went down completely. The lights that had once promised safety now flickered ominously, casting strange, unnatural shadows. The hum was deafening by then, a relentless drone that seemed to vibrate through the very bones of the town. That night, as the townsfolk huddled together in the dark, they saw it for the first time. It was a creature of wires and electricity, a tangled mass of cables that slithered through the town like a living thing. It moved with a horrifying grace, its many tendrils reaching out to pull the remaining residents into its buzzing embrace. The air crackled with static as it approached, and the smell of burning ozone filled the night. One by one, the people of Deadwoodfalls were consumed by the creature, their screams lost in the hum of its body. The lights flickered one last time, then went out for good, leaving the town in a darkness far deeper than before. When search parties came weeks later, they found no trace of the townsfolk. The wires and poles had been ripped from the ground, leaving only the dark, empty forest behind. The town was slowly repopulated as if the creature had been forgotten. But if one listened closely, just beyond the trees, they could still hear that low, terrible hum, growing louder by the day.